Welcome to the class of parasitology, and today's parasite is Echinococcus granulosus. Echinococcus species, they are of four types which are known to infect humans, and their names are as follows: Echinococcus granulosus, Echinococcus multicularis, Echinococcus progelii, and Echinococcus herbivorous. Out of this, Echinococcus granulosus causes hydatid disease, whereas multicularis causes alveolar hydatid disease. Fugeli and olicris causes polycystic hydatid disease. Out of all this, today we are going to consider Echinococcus granulosus, which turns out to be the most common type of parasitic infection to humans. It is also known as dog tapeworm or hydatid worm. It causes cystic echinococcus and hydatid disease, also in livestock and human beings, which act as an intermediate host. That is, the livestock and humans are intermediate hosts and parasitize in small intestine of adult canids, that is the definitive host. So there are two hosts, intermediate host is human or any livestock or cattle, and the definitive host is a canid. The example is the dog. It is a zoonotic disease. The meaning of zoonotic disease is the disease will spread between an animal and human. So exchange is between two organisms, so between an animal and human. Its geographical distribution is extensive in the area where uh, cattle are being farmed, where extensive sheep and cattle farming is done, like Australia, Africa, and South America. It's also common in Europe, East Asia, and India. It is seen more often in temperate than in tropical regions. Now about its habitat, the adult worm, the adult form lives in the jejunum and duodenum of the definitive host dog and other canine carnivores like wolf and fox. The larval stage, that is known as the hydatid cyst, is found in the liver and other visceral organs of human and herbivorous animals. So, what form of this parasite can be found in human? That is the larval stage. Uh, that is what we call as the hydatid cyst, and so does the name of the disease. It is hydatid disease due to the presence of this particular stage of parasite residing in the visceral organs and in the liver. Now about the morphology to understand how does the adult worm looks like and how is the hydatid form. The adult tapeworm ranges in length from 3 mm to 6 mm. The length is approx 3 mm to 6 mm. It comprises of a head, is known as scolex, neck and strobila or proglottids containing 3 or 4 segments. So segmentation is quite low here. The length is also not too great. The first segment is immature, second is mature, and the last one or two is gravid. That is, they will be the larva. Uh, the last two gravids would come out as the larval stage. The terminal segment is by far the biggest one, that is ranging from 2 to 3 mm. The scolex bear 4 suckers and also has a rostellum with 2 rows of hooks. So this basically will help them adhering to the intestinal wall. The neck is short and thick. So overall, we understand about the anatomical features of adult worm. That is, the length is not too high. Even the segmentations are only from 3 to 4, out of which the first segment is immature, second is mature, but the third and the fourth will be gravid, and they would be laying the larval stage or the egg stage would come out from the gravid part. The terminal segment is the largest one, whereas the first segment is the smallest one. It comprises of a head structure known as scolex, which bears 4 suckers and 2 rows of hook. In Echinococcus is triploblastic, that is all 3 germ layers will be found in Echinococcus. Whereas It do not have any digestive system, and even the anal opening is absent. The body is covered with tegument, and the worm is divided into scolex, short neck, and 3 to 6 proglottids. It can vary from one worm to other. The average lifespan is around 6 to 30 months. Whereas, how does the eggs look like, which comes out of the proglottids? Ovoid in shape and resembles other taenia. It measures around 32 to 36 micrometers into 25 to 32 micrometers and contain an hexagon embryo with 3 pairs of hooks. It's very interesting to know that even the eggs will have hooks associated with them. So this is the structure of an adult worm. As you can see, the scolex followed by the neck region, and then the segmentation will start. You can see the first segmentation just below the neck is quite small, and followed by a larger one, and the last one is obviously the largest one, which is capable of giving rise to the eggs. And as you can see here, the structure of the egg is having 3 pairs of hooks. You can see hooklets is written. Now about the larval form. The larval stage of this parasite is found in the intermittent host, that is, can be any herbivore or human. The larval stage lies inside a cyst known as hydatid cyst. It represents the structure of a scolex of adult worm and remains invaginated within a vascular body. After entering the definite host, the scolex with sucker and prostellar hooklets become invaginated and develops into an adult worm. So let us understand the life cycle. That will give you a better understanding that how the adult worm and the larval stage are connected to each other. So there are two hosts in the life cycle of Echinococcus granulosus. The first is the definitive host. It can be a dog or other canine like wolf and fox. Whereas intermittent host, it can be sheep and other herbivores. Man act as an accidental intermediate host, that is a dead end. That is, from man it won't get transferred. They won't be able to transfer the disease to the next stage. So it is interesting to know sheep and other herbivores. It's quite obvious that sheep and other herbivores might continue the cycle of the parasite. But if this enters into human, then it's a dead end. The parasite won't be able to get transmitted to the next stage. The mode of transmission: men and other intermediate hosts acquire the infection by ingestion of food contaminated by dog feces. Echinococcus granulosus eggs rarely flies severe as a mechanical vector of the egg. Uh, Sometimes only the mechanical vector for transmission of eggs is a fly. House fly can transfer it. So this is an outlay of this life cycle of Echinococcus granulosus. We'll have a detailed discussion of the life cycle in both the definitive host and intermediate host in the second part of Echinococcus granulosus as parasite. Thank you.